So I realized that I never made an end-of-year breakdown, 2025, here's what we made from every platform video for Page and PJ Productions and our foray into wide distribution, royalty share, and royalty share plus. I am not going to reiterate that whole thing in this video. I made a thread about it on February 16th that does break everything down, but I will say this. At the end of 2025, with everything accounted for, across all titles and all platforms, the company made $2,756.76 in net royalties. By platform, ACX was only 20.48% of those royalties. Direct sales were 67.65%, and everywhere else was 11.87%. And we're going to take a look and see how that trend has continued into 2026. In a surprise to nobody, the trend has continued. ACX continues to be the most amount of money that readers spend on audiobooks, and is only 17% of our royalties paid. Now, what made me come on here today and want to talk about this? Well, when I was paying out royalties to my authors for the end of March and what's been accumulated up until then, a crazy coincidence happened, and that is we have sold the same number of units directly, so website and events, as we have on Audible across all titles. The exact same number of units, 232 total. And the number comparison, I think, demonstrates the point perfectly. So here we go. For 232 units sold on Audible, readers have spent $2,695.27, or the equivalent from spending credits, etc. For 232 units sold directly from us, readers have spent $2,438.37. So they have spent about $250 more on Audible. Now, the life-to-date royalties from Audible for 232 purchases, $673.82. Life-to-date royalties from direct sales, $2,313.79. That is a difference of $1,639.97 in favor of direct sales. Long story short, direct sales have paid out 3.4 times the amount of royalties that Audible has for the same number of units, and readers have spent less on them. And I just noticed this little tidbit like 2 minutes before I started making this video, so I'm excited to share. But for the payout that occurred at the end of March for ACX, so technically February sales, we sold 18 units on ACX, and the royalties earned from those 18 units was $48.64. Hold on, I gotta change my filter for this spreadsheet Airtable data. Okay, now we went to one book event in March. That was a Saturday and a Sunday, and we sold 19 units, so 18 on ACX, 19 at this one event, and our royalties were $174.40. And people spent $194.54 on books from ACX. And directly from us at the event, they spent $197.50. So $3 more for us at events for one additional unit, and we made almost 4 times the amount of money. Okay, so why am I saying this? Audible has the biggest market share, right? We know that. Everybody knows that, etc. And so you constantly hear how things have to be on Audible. It's better to be exclusive, so on and so forth. But the data does not support that. The data doesn't support that from last month. The data doesn't support that from the entire quarter. The data doesn't support that since July 15th of 2025 when we first started doing this. From our very first title, the data does not support that being exclusive on Audible is the better choice for income. Now, are there cases where things can go viral and you get a shit ton of sales? Sure, but that is not the majority of cases. You can sell directly. You can sell far fewer units, copies, whatever you want to call them, and make so much more while readers spend less. And I think that's really important information to have out there. So anyway, at the end of next month, I will probably have a first quarter wrap up so we can continue to analyze this trend. You all know how I love my database and my spreadsheets and my graphs, which I don't have on here, but if you go look at threads, they're on there. So thank you for listening to me ramble. Have a lovely rest of your day. And remember, buy direct when you can.